Good morning, Miss Mickens. Again,
Morning.
thank you so much for being my coaching guinea pig. I know we have had several conversations about the teaching strategies Socratic seminar and how this will help students speak up and out about topics in your British literature classroom. I am excited to share with you today a couple of checklists for this teaching strategy. I would like for us to look over them together and see if there are any ways we may need to modify or do anything to make it better. I love a checklist for anything. I don't know if you're like me in my life, but checklists saves us. And studies have shown that checklists are simple and easy to use and a great way for teachers to follow. It will allow them better success in teaching strategies and different things throughout their classroom. So I know my husband says, "Have you got a list?" And I was like, "Yep, I love a checklist." So we're going to look over a few checklists today. The first one I put together is the Socratic Seminar Checklist for Teachers. And these are just some things. To be honest with you, I wasn't really familiar with your Socratic Seminar teaching strategy, but I have done some Googling and researching on it, and I really like it. I really think, and especially at this level, I think it's great for the kids. But I put together a small checklist for teachers, and I did something prior to discussion, during discussion, and post discussion. So prior to discussion, I was thinking, okay, first of all, you got to choose a text, right? A story, a text, something that the kids need to be familiar with. Even have them read it, maybe for homework, or maybe a few minutes left in the day before you're going to do this. Just have them be familiar with the text. I thought about preparing students to dig deeply into and discuss the text. We got to come up with some ways to get them to thinking out of the box, get them going. I thought it might even be good for the teacher, although it's not going to be like really teacher led, more like a facilitator.
Yes.
But you might have to have a question to get them started, or if it gets kind of out of control, maybe have a question to bring them back. So just have some questions ready just in case. And of course, establish students' expectations, kind of give them a heads up on what to do. What do you think? What are your ideas for prior discussion? Do you think if anything else?
No, I think it's extremely important to establish those expectations. And I think where the question goes, have students generate what I've done in the past, and which needs to be done more efficiently so everybody has a voice, is allow them to pre-write several questions they would write and then talk to them about how to make that more, instead of saying, what color dress is Janie wearing and their eyes were watching God, that is not a question. So help them develop, like maybe instead ask a question about how would you characterize Janie by her dress and by her,
Exactly. So a little higher
it
order
does take
thinking questions. And
yes, I think the prior to discussion is really important.
Good. Okay. And if we're moving on and you're like, oh, we need to add something to the prior discussion, just let me know and we'll pop it in there for us. All right, so during discussion, I mentioned this just a minute ago, but definitely establish that the teacher's goal is to be the facilitator. You're not a moderator.
Right.
You're not really wanting to be a part of it. You're kind of wanting to be student-led, student-driven. A goal is to have students run the discussion with as little involvement from you,
right,
or any teacher. Take a variety of notes to keep up with who's taking turns and maybe the flow of ideas, because maybe later on, you might need to bring those in, maybe for a test or an assessment or something like that. And that you will help move the discussion along as needed in a productive direction, asking follow-up questions, anything, and you might need to look at your notes or have some notes to follow that on too. So that's kind of what I was thinking, like during discussion. Anything there?
No, and I actually think I have a sheet where I can sit them in that circle.
Right.
And then diagram who's speaking and how.
Right.
So maybe have that sheet prepared also, maybe prior to discussion. For me, have that sheet prepared.
Gotcha. Yeah. Kind of have those extras added in. Post discussion, and when I was looking at this, I don't know, I was thinking, okay, let's put them in a circle, kids will talk, we'll kind of see where they're going, and it's all over, we might assess them, blah, 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 we're done. And as I was researching it, I really didn't think about this. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a good idea. Is have student reflection.
Oh,
Let them think back
yes.
on what happened in the discussion, asking students to describe their participation.
Yes.
I know I even found a little participation guide, very simple, I think with 5 or 6 questions that the student can ask themselves.
Yeah.
You know, did I do this? Did I ask this question? Was I,
You know, it would be great too is to create a grid and Flipgrid where they can respond that way.
Yes, and that might, yes. And, even after the reflection and maybe thinking about what they said and who said and, going from there, yes, create a Flipgrid that we can share with the class on what each said. And also ask them about goals. If they were to do this on another assignment or with another text,
what would you change or do
what
better?
would you change? Or how would you make it run better? Or, that kind of thing. I thought that would be good for them.
I think so too.
Well, good.
And that way it would make them get better and better every time so that they're prepared to do these types of things more frequently.
Yes. And I'm definitely going to add, make sure the teacher has print out some things assigned, printed and ready to go before, and also Flipgrid's an awesome.
Yeah, I love
Flipgrid. All right, so let's look at some checklists for the students. And this is mainly, I was thinking for them, and we might want to add, now that it's coming to me, we definitely might want to add, maybe getting them to create a question or two about the text. But I was mainly thinking about their expectations, because I noticed in the previous video when we were watching, but yes, there are 1 or 2 students who like to speak out, who like to have the floor, and then you have your silent students. But we need for them to focus on listening carefully. Make sure everybody's heard. Don't raise your hands. Address one another respectfully. I know not by a nickname or something, but call them by their name. Base your opinions on the text. Address comments to the group. It's not fair for 1 or 2 to be addressing a question and then we have Susie over here carrying on a side conversation about Friday night. We wouldn't want anything like that. So no side conversations. Use sensitivity. Take turns. Do not interrupt others. I know that's very hard, and we are talking about seniors, but we do see that happen a lot.
I've seen where teachers have used like a talking stick, where that's something we can maybe incorporate, which would control the talking a little bit better.
Yes. I like this saying, watch your airtime. Make sure you're not the main one on the floor doing all the talking. Limit yourself. Be mindful of your airtime. And then, of course, just be courageous in presenting your own thoughts and reasoning. So,
I like that. Definitely.
Not to be scared. But then I thought, too, we definitely need to add, after they've read the text, maybe they have a question.
Right.
Like, they didn't understand, second paragraph of it. And who understood this or who has a meaning for this and help me understand it or something. So just, looking at other people's viewpoints. So those are the 2. And I'm sure we could come up with 100 more checklists. But, I thought that might be good for getting us started on that. So now that we've looked at our checklist and we have our teaching strategy and we have designed it to be helpful for us, the teachers and the students, let us look at how we can model this strategy. There are several options here. We can model in the classroom with students, or we can do it in the classroom without students, co-teaching, visiting another classroom, or watching a video. So what strategy do you think you would like to see first?
I think the video.
Video. Yes, I'm glad you said the video.
I think the video.
Video. Yes, I'm glad you said the video. I've been logged out. All right, so I have a couple of videos. I'm not sure how many we'll actually get to watch, but I found some really good videos here.
Watch your time.
Yes. I want to go to the next time.
What time is it?
11:31.
Okay, this is pretty good.
I don't know. Leave it to Google. We can come back to it.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
The things we do. Technology. Okay, let's hope I have the volume. Alright, this is actually a video. It's in a middle school setting, but I figured it could still be useful to us.
I love a question.
Thought this was neat.
It's almost like a fishbowl exercise.
Yes. Like that, when they refer back to the text.
Yeah, she's kind of encouraging the discussion. I really like that fire seed idea. That's great.
Okay, here's another.
Okay, so there's a partner on the inside and a partner on the outside.
And what I think with this group is it's a big class.
Yes.
I know for you have a small class, so you would be fine, but
I would
with
love to
some of
do that
your
though
bigger-
too, because it would allow
Yeah.
for more participation.
yeah. And I think the fire state's awesome. They had it marked by an orange
Yeah, I like it.
construction paper, so like if maybe instead of the teacher coming in to guide the question,
The outside
that fire
students do.
person could come in.
No, I love it. That's a great idea.
So that was just one of many videos that I found, but I thought that was really cool because it incorporated a couple of different things there.
Definitely.
So to wrap up our Learn session on the Socratic seminar, anything so far with this teaching strategy that you're ready to use in your classroom? And
Oh yeah, I especially love the new idea of the fire seat. I'm definitely going to incorporate that because then I get to facilitate even more. I don't have to jump in. They have to encourage one another.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was almost too, I saw in that one video, it's almost like if you have a huge class of 30, and I mentioned, each one has a partner, but one partner's in the circle.
Right.
But you might need a tag team, kind of like you might need to phone a friend.
Right.
So they could go get,
And then they go back to their seat.
and then they can go back. So they
Right.
could switch out. Actually phone a friend, just go get your partner
Right.
to fill in and come back. So I thought that was neat. Kind of keep it would never. This discussion might not would die
Right.
quickly. You can
Right.
keep it going. Okay, so we're going to talk in a few days on the time to set up and implement
Nice.
your strategy. So I'll be getting back with you just to be thinking about a time and date for us to kind of work on this. Again, I thank you for your time this morning, and I'm so excited to see this strategy used in your classroom, and I feel your students will love it, and it will help them gain a better understanding and visualize different viewpoints from the text and the text that's being viewed.
I agree. Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Moon.
Ms. Mickens.